Hey Deadheads, welcome to
Dead Authors Club, where we resurrect the classics
and bury the complexity.
We're your club presidents,
Andrew Jackson
and Lyndon B. Johnson.
Get started. Oh no.
Hello and welcome.
Hey guys.
We are so excited to finally get to sit and talk about Wuthering Heights with you guys tonight. It has been a traumatic experience, not the book, the podcast.
Trying to set up the podcast has been truly an emotional roller coaster that I thought was going to derail the whole time we were on it, but here.
We're your hosts. I'm Lyndon B. Johnson.
Andrew Jackson.
And we are going to have a great time debriefing, reliving,
I don't know why she's...
and analyzing Wuthering Heights.
Yes, we're very excited to be analytical.
Let's just start with, I just think that the character names are funny, so I feel like we should start with there, but don't get confused. You don't actually need to know who's who in the beginning of the story.
Yeah,
we'll spoon feed you who's who, but the names are just funny to rattle off.
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson's really good at rattling off the names.
Please, not the whole government name. Just Andrew is fine. Or Ann or Ann.
Or Jackson.
Ann.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Anyway.
Alright, come on, give us the news.
Sorry, we're getting the sleepy ha-has. Okay, so first things first, I want to say we're going to recap the first half of the book.
Oh yeah, this is just part one.
This is part one. We're going to do a part two because this book is so...
We already tried to recap the whole thing for you, and it was just an hour of and then.
Yeah, and it just got
It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
It was more like a lecture, and we just... Yeah, it didn't feel like that when we were reading it. We loved the book.
Yeah, and explaining the book, I love to explain. I can't wait to explain to you this book, but anyway.
Yes, so we're going to do a whole lore drop with Wuthering Heights, so if you are someone who really wants to see the movie, and is considering reading the book first... I don't know if you think maybe it's too, wordy for you, because the Old English text can always be, a little confusing.
Yeah.
So we're going to break that down for you in a way that you can kind of, understand the plot.
Yeah.
Going into the movie.
Because the plot is crazy.
Or even going into reading the book. I don't know. I just feel like maybe having the plot, laid out for me in modern terms would have helped me to read it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Better. I always say, I tell my students this too, but, literally my number one rule when going into literature that you might not understand is just keep reading. The first 5 chapters of the book, I understood, but I knew I was missing a lot. But if you just keep reading, the story will unfold. And if you get only 75% of the book understood by the end, then when you go back, other things make sense anyway. You can reread it and be like, oh, I didn't even notice that detail because I wasn't even understanding this language yet. Mm-hmm. So always just keep reading. That's literally what I did. And that's what got me so into and now in love with Wuthering Heights. If I could get a lobotomy every single day for the rest of my life to forget my experience to then reread this book, I'll never forget my first time reading it at this point. All right.
Honestly, I think about getting a lobotomy every single day, but it's not to read Wuthering Heights. Okay, with that being said, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about, the names.
Let's just list the names because they're just hilarious.
I wish we had a whiteboard. You remember that meme of Charlie Day?
We don't need to explain
with the strings and the pictures, and he was that's me figuring out all the names in Wuthering Heights. I'm looking at my invisible whiteboard. Okay, so we have, the book starts off with Mr. Lockwood, he's a narrator.
Yeah.
And then we have Nellie, the real MVP, we will get to her, we love Nellie so much, she's that girl. She is another narrator. Then we have the main characters of the book, the central love story, Heathcliff, who's just Heathcliff, like Zendaya, he doesn't have a last name, just Heathcliff. It is his first and last name. Yeah, she does. Okay, so
Heathcliff.
Kathy
Earnshaw,
who becomes, spoiler alert,
we'll get there, but
100 years later, Kathy Linton.
Who marries Edgar Linton.
Who
Who has a sister named Isabel Linton.
We're just repeating.
I just want it. Get them out there.
All right, so we have Heathcliff, Kathy
Earnshaw becomes Kathy Linton, has a baby named Kathy Linton.
Edgar, who has a baby with Edgar Linton, and their baby's name is Catherine Linton.
Junior.
And then Heathcliff and Isabella get married, have a baby named Heathcliff.
No.
Named Linton Heathcliff.
Their baby's name is Linton Heathcliff.
Heathcliff and Isabella Linton get married, and their baby's name is Linton Heathcliff. Both of their names.
Like, you have Harrington Earnshaw from Hindley Earnshaw. And
Yes.
are we missing any names? They're just like, I'm like, dude. But when you read the story, it makes sense because they had no one else in their world. So
Yeah.
what other names would they have known?
Who else are they gonna name?
Okay.
Who after? Yeah, it's just yeah. It's hard to follow.
The first 5 chapters, if anyone would have told me to skip, I would have skipped. So skip them. Don't actually, but like, they are not. When I say just keep reading, I mean just keep reading the first 5 chapters because it is just Mr. Lockwood coming into the picture. He's the narrator. He's a visitor into this world, and it's like told like in the future basically. And the story goes back in time. So he walks into this house. Something's weird. He sees a ghost, and then when he says he sees a ghost, his landlord Heathcliff starts freaking out, screaming this name, Catherine. Why would you show yourself to him and not me? Where are you? Where are you? He's like, something's very weird here. He goes to Nellie, who is the servant who's also Heathcliff's age. They like grew up together, but now she's like, she's always been like the servant, and says, what's going on in this house? And she's like, oh, sit down. I've got so much I'd love to tell you. And then it goes back in time to Heathcliff and Catherine's story, and they are like the love interests of the story. The love that's not the love. That's
If
like,
you can call it that.
I love to say this is Tell Me Lies circa 100 years ago, because if you have seen that show and you've been addicted to that drama and that tumultuous relationship, Kathy and Heathcliff are that. They are twistier than that.
They're twistier. They're so twistier. Heathcliff walked so Stephen DeMarco could run.
Yes. I think, although I feel like Stephen DeMarco kind of flies over Heathcliff, but we'll talk about that later. Let's keep recapping. So basically we're just going to go through the whole first half of the book and then we're going to talk about it and react. So Heathcliff and Catherine meet as children because Catherine's father leaves for Liverpool and comes back and says, I brought back a child. And he's black, basically. And they're like, they're probably like 6 years old. And Nellie is there too. She's like the same age as them, maybe a little older. And so they meet as children, and Kathy, at first she's like, ew, but then she like loves him like so much. So they become friends. And the father, Mr. Earnshaw, absolutely favors and loves Heathcliff. Well, there's another son involved, Kathy's brother, Hindley.
We always get him confused with his son's name later, Harrington.
Hindley hates Heathcliff because he's jealous of him, because he's like, what the heck, dude, like, I'm your son too. But so he like steals his pony, throws rocks at him, basically just like hates him. And every time he hates him, Kathy and Heathcliff are like, we're telling Pops, and he gets in trouble. So then he gets even more mad that he gets in trouble. So then their relationship gets like really close growing up, and then Kathy's father dies, and Hindley becomes the head of the household and removes Heathcliff from the house. Any chance he had of being a gentleman or like a higher status of class gets removed. He degrades him. He makes him a plowboy. They starve him. They do not educate him. They kick him to like a dirty room, like, and he lives his life as like a worker instead. And that sucks for Kathy, because as she gets older and they spend more time together, they kind of like vibe. They're not like in love explicitly yet, but like the lore is there. You know that they're like vibing. And then they sneak off to, so then there's neighbors. The neighbors are the Lintons, and they're rich. Okay. And so there's basically only 2 homes and 2 families that exist in this entire world. And then there's a random church that they go to on Sundays. And so it's Wuthering Heights, and it's Thrushcross Grange. This is where the Lintons live. Kathy and Heathcliff sneak over there, peek in the windows, and then dogs attack them.
And Kathy gets her legs ripped to shreds.
Runs away, and Kathy's legs get eaten.
Like a traumatic dog injury.
And the Lintons are like, we're going to keep you till you're better. So they lock her. Well, they don't lock her away. But they take her away to Thrushcross Grange. I can never say it even when I'm reading it.
Thrushcross Grange.
They take her there, and she's gone for weeks. Okay, and when she comes back, she's a woman. She's beautiful. She's
and
a gentle lady,
a gentle
if you will.
woman.
A gentle woman, if you will.
Honestly, before this, she's pretty much described as like a feral child. Like, it's true though. Like,
so true.
They're all
Mr.
shocked when she
Earnshaw's
comes back
father.
and she's like, they're all like, who is that? What did you do with Kathy?
Mr. Earnshaw's father literally hates her. He's like, I think the book says like he shows affection to her like twice, and then he's like, okay, you're doing too much. Like, be away with you. So she comes back, and she's a full-on
gentle woman.
A gentle woman. Dearest reader.
Dearest gentle readers.
There it is. That's what I was going to say. And Heathcliff hates it, obviously, because he's like, you're not my Catherine. I'm confused. Who are you? But she loves it. She's like, I'm a gentle woman.
I'm beautiful. Look at me. Like,
I'm in clothes.
I'm just oozing money and wealth.
So then she starts hanging out with Linton a little bit, or Edgar, sorry. Edgar a little more. Edgar Linton. And Heathcliff tries to make himself look really nice one night when they're all over for dinner. And they all laugh at him. Except for Kathy. She's not laughing at him. But he gets so mad, he throws a bowl of hot soup all over. I don't know if it's Henley he throws it on, or if it's Edgar he throws it on.
Like a dinner one night.
And then they jump him and lock him in a room. They literally beat the crap out of him for it and then lock him in a room. And then while everyone's dancing and having fun, Kathy sneaks away and sits outside of his door all night. And this is all, like, Nellie's seeing this. And she's like, that's kind of sweet. So then she starts spending more time with Linton. And Heathcliff starts marking the days. Not Linton. Edgar, dude. Edgar Linton. Mr. Linton.
Mr. Linton.
Heathcliff starts marking the days of every day she spends with him and dotting all the days that she spends with Heathcliff. And he takes it to her. And she just insults him. She's like, well, I don't know what you want me to say to that. Because Kathy does not like to get called out, ever.
Oh, no. No accountability.
So she says, like, Kathy. I don't know what you want me to say to that. Your company is dumb. You're dumb. And I want to be entertained by someone that actually has an education. Like, she hurts him on purpose, viscerally, with her words, all the time. So then,
not for nothing, he does the same thing.
Well, but you don't see that. I feel like you don't see that so much in the beginning. He's just, like, dumb all the time. Like, he doesn't speak. He doesn't... And when the book says dumb, yes, they mean uneducated, but I think they also genuinely mean, like, you're not speaking. Because that's what it was. That's what it meant back then, you know? And I just feel like he, like, I remember, like, Nellie goes to him and is like, why don't you clean up? And he just stares at her and doesn't speak. She's like, let me help you clean up. And he's just like, lights are on. No one's home. Someone's definitely home, but it's demonic. Whoever's home is otherworldly. So Edgar Linton proposes, and this is when the story gets so good. So that is, like, pretty slow. All of that's pretty slow. I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, they're together. Okay, yeah, whatever. But then Edgar Linton proposes to Catherine, and she goes to Nellie, and you find this out through Nellie, and she's like, I have a secret to tell you. Edgar Linton proposed. And Nellie's kind of like, we love Nellie because she hates Catherine, and because Catherine's a bad person.
Catherine is the worst, and Nellie is that girl, and I will continue to say that.
Yeah, because she was, like, the only one who was sane, and she wasn't afraid to tell these people that they were horrible. And we'll get into this probably when we analyze it, but, like, I love that, like, there's no one really likable in this story, except for me, personally, Edgar and Nellie.
I thought you were saying... Except for me, I'm the only likable in this story.
Except for me, the reader.
Edgar is the Edgar, and I would say
redeemable. I would say.
You don't think Nellie?
No, I said and Nellie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Edgar and Nellie are the most normal people in the story, and there's
everyone else is kind of made to
and Mr. Lockwood
not be liked.
Nobody else is.
Mr. Lockwood's just not really anything.
He's not really in the story,
and I don't think he's creepy.
He's very creepy.
Yeah, he's creepy, but we'll get into that.
I'm glad you said that.
So. Anyway, so she goes to Nellie and she's like, Edgar Linton proposed. And Nellie's like, okay, that's horrible. You hang out with Heathcliff literally every day. And she's like, well, I said yes. I need you to tell me if that's good or bad. Like, what should I do? And Nellie's like, well, do you love him? And she's like, well, yeah, I love him. She's like, well, how do you love him? And Catherine's like, well, you know, like, I love him like the air outside. Like, I just, like, he's there and I love him and I need him. And she's like, okay, why do you love him? And she's like, well, because he's rich and handsome. Nellie's like, so what's the problem? And then Catherine's like, okay, so here's the problem. Problem is my heart. Because I actually truly, deeply, insatiably love Heathcliff.
And not even just I love Heathcliff, but I am Heathcliff.
I love that you said that because wait till later.
Yeah.
So but hold on, she's not even there yet. She says, I love Edgar. I actually love this quote. I love Edgar like the foliage that changes. So basically she's saying, I love Edgar like the plants in summer that will eventually die in the winter.
Yeah, she's like, I know that my love for him will change.
But I love Heathcliff like the rocks in the earth. He's part of me, and they can never change or die.
Yeah.
And so she gets really dramatic, which, not for nothing, not one film adaptation I've seen has been dramatic enough for me when she says these things, because she's literally like, I am Heathcliff. Every sorrow he has had in this life has been my sorrow. Like, the only trouble I've had in life is the fact that Heathcliff suffers. Like, we are the same. My soul, whatever my soul and his soul is made of, they are the same. I just butchered that quote. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. That's what it is. But anyway, it's kind of, and it's true, but their souls are the same, but it's not romantic. Their souls are made of the same demons.
Demon. They're possessed by the same demon,
yes.
is what she means.
So, she's like, you know, if the whole world perished and Heathcliff remained, I'd be okay. But if Heathcliff perished and the whole world remained, I would perish. And please never talk to me about separating from Heathcliff. Because the one thing Nellie says to her is, you're going to marry Edgar and be in love with Heathcliff? You think he's going to let you be around Heathcliff?
Yeah, she's like, you're going to have to drop him, sis.
And she's like, never talk to me.
Don't ever say that again.
Never talk to me about separating from Heathcliff. I can't bear it. Like, she's so dramatic. Heathcliff hears all of this.
No.
Yes, he does. He's overhearing it.
I thought he only heard the one part.
Okay, I must have misinterpreted that because in every movie it shows he only hears the one part.
He did.
But I remember, like, I thought he heard all of it. Okay, so the only part he hears is her saying, I could never marry Heathcliff.
I couldn't
it would degrade
myself me. Like that.
It would degrade me, meaning, like, he's not educated enough. He's not rich enough. What am I going to do? Like, just be, like, a beggar my whole life? So Heathcliff hears this, and our dramatic king just runs away.
Runs away. Doesn't tell anybody where he's going. Steals the horse.
Not for a night.
Leaves.
Not for a weekend. Leaves for 3 years. 3 years he's never heard of ever again. And our dramatic
ever
queen...
again for 3 years.
Ever again. Except for 3 years.
3 years later.
And our dramatic queen, Catherine, goes chasing him in the night, and it's pouring rain. She gets sick, and she stays out, and Nellie's like, come in, and she's like, I can't, I gotta find Heathcliff. And one thing I really, well, we'll talk about the movie, but I loved in the movie where she's like, you know he does this to punish me. Like, because it just felt like no one else really, like, got that. But anyway. Like, no other movie, I feel like, adapted it in that way. So then she gets sick. The doctor comes, and he's like, temp check, crazy. So he tells the whole family. Like, she had a psychotic break. You need to placate her no matter what for the rest of her life, or she will, like, she's ill in the head.
Just give her whatever she wants.
She's ill in the head. And so she marries Edgar Linton, and years pass, and here comes Heathcliff, except he's not the same Heathcliff. He's rich, and he's a gentleman, and he's educated.
Oh, yeah.
And no one knows how or why. No one knows how he got his wealth. No one knows how he got his education.
And
but
spoiler alert, you will never find out because they never mention it.
Never tells you.
We do have theories. We'll talk about.
I think my theory's right.
I think my theory's right also.
No, I don't think your theory's right.
Okay, well, I don't think your theory's right.
My theory's so accurate. No one knows how or why, but because Kathy's been crazy and Edgar Linton loves her and he's placating her, she's allowed to see him every day. And here's why. Also, because he moves into Wuthering Heights, which is Catherine's childhood home that her brother owns. How does he do that? Well, he comes in.
Heathcliff.
Yeah, Heathcliff. Sorry, Heathcliff comes back. He moves into Wuthering Heights, which is Kathy's childhood home. Her brother still lives there, but her brother... Oh, we forgot to mention that. Her brother got married, had a baby. His wife died, and he's just a drunk now. And he's a miserable drunk.
He hates his kid.
He hates his kid. He almost drops him over
He
a
tries
banister.
to drop the kid over a banister.
And Heathcliff catches him.
And then as he's catching him, Heathcliff is like, damn it, why did I just catch this kid? I should have let him fall to his death.
Because...
So that I could torture
We haven't even said that
Finley.
yet. Like, okay, so he comes back and everyone thinks that he is a born-again Christian and he forgives them for their abuse. So they're, like, so excited that Heathcliff's back. Except in the night, Heathcliff is playing card games with Hindley and swindling him out of his wealth and ends up buying Wuthering Heights. So what the layer of this that, like, no one really talks about is, like, this is a revenge story for Heathcliff comes back with a plan that is so diabolical that every time he revealed another layer, I was like another layer?
Yeah, it's
like,
less
everything
of a
he
love
does.
story and more of Heathcliff's it should be called Heathcliff's Revenge.
Yes.
Because that's all the
Everything
book is
he
to
does.
the very end. To
Yes.
the very end.
Which we'll get into part 2 when we do our next episode. But, like, literally everything he does, you're like, okay. And then he reveals and you're like, oh my gosh, you're still thinking about that.
Yeah.
But not for nothing, these people truly abused him, and degraded him, and they're the reason he couldn't marry the love of his life. So he comes back and his plan is to take all of their wealth. So he swindles, he gets Wuthering Heights. Now he's neighbors with Kathy. Kathy's crazy, so Edgar's got to placate her. So he's like, okay, you get to see Heathcliff every single day. Well, don't you know, remember Isabella is Edgar's sister, and she's hanging out with them because, Catherine is a married woman, so she can't be alone with Heathcliff. Isabella's there every day, and one day Isabella tells Catherine, I'm in love with Heathcliff. And Catherine's just like, listening. And she's like, but the problem is, every time we're all together, you send me away. I think he could love me. I think I could change him. But you're a married woman. That's not even appropriate of you. Like, literally calls her out. We're all Isabella. I can fix him. No, really, I can. And so Kathy does this thing where, like I said, she does not like to be called out. She does not like to not get her way. She will eviscerate you with her words. And she looks at Isabella and she's like, Heathcliff is so evil. He would eat your soul. You don't stand a chance. Like, she goes into, it's like 4 paragraphs of her just being like, his soul is dark. He'll eat your soul. She doesn't call him, like, scum. She just says, like, he's a monster. Like,
yeah.
He is, you couldn't handle him. And Isabella's just there, like, I don't believe you, so give me a chance. And Kathy, they don't speak for, like, 2 days, I think. They quarrel and don't speak, basically. And then Heathcliff comes back to visit, because he comes every day. And Isabella's in the room. And Catherine is like, this is what I said reminds me of Regina George. She says, Heathcliff, did you know that Isabella said she's in love with you? We've been quarreling for days because I told her she shouldn't be. And because you're a monster, why don't you tell her, are you interested in Isabella? And Isabella tries to leave the room. She's so embarrassed. And Kathy literally grabs her and holds her there and makes her suffer through the embarrassment of outing her crush.
It's literally giving Katie, tell Aaron, his hair looks sexy pushed back.
To me, it's giving like, oh, do you want me to go talk to him for you? And then be like, oh, Katie's crazy. Kiss me at the Halloween party.
Yes,
That's what this reminds me of. It's like, oh, you want to be with him? Go ahead. Here he is. Yeah. And then Heathcliff is just staring, like smiling. And he's like, well, it doesn't look like she wants to be with me because she's trying to leave the room.
Honestly, Kathy ran walked so that Regina George could run.
Dude, Kathy is so many females I've read in literature where I'm like, oh, that one, oh, that one,
so
oh, that
unfortunate.
One. So Isabella gets away, she runs out, and Heathcliff's like, why did you just do that? And Catherine's like, because you're evil, and Isabella's pure, and I'm protecting her. I would never let her be with you. And he's like, well, I don't want to be with her anyway because she has the same eyes as her brother, who is literally my abuser, who I just want revenge on. I don't care about her. I would kill myself if I had to marry her. Don't you know the next day, he's kissing Isabella in the garden and gets caught by Kathy. And Kathy goes absolutely feral. She drags Heathcliff in the kitchen. Nellie's there, by the way, because Nellie's seeing all of this all the time because she's the one telling the story. So it's Nellie, Kathy, and Heathcliff locked or pulled into the kitchen, and she's like, they're screaming at each other. Heathcliff is like, why shouldn't I kiss Isabella? Why shouldn't I like play with her the way that you play with Edgar in front of me. Like you every day are hurting me. Why shouldn't I get the same entertainment? You know, why shouldn't I play the same game back? And she's screaming back at him being like, you think I'm jealous? I think you're pathetic. I think every single one of you are pathetic to ever think that I could ever be jealous of you. Like they're screaming. Edgar overhears this whole fight, walks in the kitchen and is like, I'm literally so done with you two. Heathcliff, get off my property, never come back. And then Heathcliff is like, I'm going to punch you in the face. And he's like, so then Edgar looks at Nellie and he's like, go get those guys. And Nellie leaves the kitchen because they had this plan apparently to get a bunch of men that work for Edgar and drag Heathcliff off the property forever. So she goes to get them, but Kathy sees it, beats Nellie to the door and locks everybody in the kitchen and throws the key away and is like, actually, you're not going to hide behind like men for valor. You're either going to fight him or apologize to him or let him beat the crap out of you. And she just sits there and says that right to her husband's face. And she's like, she says something like, I wish Heathcliff would beat you for you thinking ill thoughts of me. That's what she says. But the problem is, Kathy, he wasn't wrong. His thoughts were ill of you because you were cheating on him. Like, she's so manipulative. It's insane. So Heathcliff is like, by God, Mr. Linton, you're not worth splitting your skin over my fist or something like that. Yeah. Like, I wish I would hit you. He doesn't. But then Edgar, I guess, got a little, like, challenged by his wife's words. So he throat punches Heathcliff.
He literally throat punches Heathcliff. I remember when I read it, I read that part twice and listened to it through the audiobook. And I was with you the one time. We were in your car. And we were driving, like, to get coffee or something, and I put my headphones in. You were listening to your own audiobook, and I, like, rewound it and, like, listened to it again, because I was, like, not getting it the first time. And when that happened, I literally went, oh my God. Because, like,
Edgar's not like that, dude.
Heathcliff, because he's so, like, chill, but honestly,
he's so gentle.
He deserved it. He deserves to be throat punched throughout the whole book, honestly. Edgar gets the award.
I don't know what Heathcliff does back, but for some reason, like, Edgar gets out of the kitchen and goes to get the men. So Heathcliff just runs away. He's like, all right, I'm not trying to see my deathbed today. He's ready to kill him, I think. Heathcliff was ready to kill Edgar. And then they're like, you need to leave. Like, a bunch of men are coming. So he gets off the property. And then this part, okay, this is not in any movie. And I don't know why, because it was one part where I was like, I think it's not in the movies because it's so confusing to Kathy's character. She goes to Nellie and she says, I wish to frighten him, like her husband. She's like, go tell him I'm having a psychotic break. I want to punish him for what he just did and the whole scene he just caused. And she recaps for 2 pages in mine. It's like 4 pages in other ones because mine's like the double thing. But for like 2 full pages, she recaps the entire scene as if she was a victim in it. She's like, did you see the way Heathcliff was screaming at me? And I was just trying to protect Isabella. And my husband thinks I'm cheating, but I'm not. And I can't believe it. And Nellie literally says like she was watching her aghast because she was like, aghast. She was watching her aghast.
Aghast?
She was watching
oh my gosh.
She was watching her aghast.
Aghast.
Because she was like, this woman actually believes what she's saying right now. She's like, so go tell my husband I'm having a psychotic break because of him so that we can punish him. And she's like, Nellie, our girl, is like, no. So she leaves, never says a word to Edgar. Edgar comes storming in the room and he's like, I'm tired of this. Choose Heathcliff or me right now, this day. Choose one. And Kathy just starts hitting her head against the couch over and over, and she grinds her teeth so much that blood is coming out of her mouth, and she's just rocking. She's like, get out, leave me. And Nellie pulls Edgar aside, and she's like, she's faking. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but she says, she's faking it, like, don't placate her. And Kathy overhears it, gets mad, runs up to her room, locks herself in her room, and stops eating because she's like so mad. And while she's in her room, not eating for days on days on days, she's popping pillows open, mattresses open, separating feathers, like goose, honestly, lark, chicken feather. She might be crazy. She might be acting.
I think she was. Are we going to talk about this?
We can talk about it real quick.
Because this is one of your things.
Okay, then should we not? Should we wait?
No, we could talk about it now,
Yeah.
because I feel like...
What's the thing?
Is Catherine actually sick, or did she just...
That's what I want to know, and that's why that scene with Nellie's so important, because she says, I'm gonna fake it. And then she's also, like, pregnant right now, which, like, I think it's okay to say right now, because in the meantime, anyway, she is sick, locked herself away. I don't know if she's faking it or not at this point. The doctor says she's actually crazy. I think she's just really, really manipulative.
I think she was
She literally says, I want to scare him.
But to some degree, isn't somebody who's that manipulative and, like, willing to do those types of things, even to cause, like, self-harm, grinding her teeth to the point where she's bleeding,
True.
like, banging her head on the couch. She was crazy.
Yeah.
She was crazy since she was a child.
Yeah. No, that's true. And that's one thing that the movie, I think, showed really well. Was, like, even though...
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay... Let's just go there real quick. The movie with the father is abusive instead of the brother. The father lives the whole time. And in the book, he dies and her brother's abusive. But regardless, it shows that she was abused from a young age because the brother was abusive anyway. They don't really touch on that in the book, but, like, you can infer that because he was abusing Heathcliff, you know. And there was one point where she stepped in for him and he, like, threw her when they were kids. Mm-hmm. So... she lived in a sick house regardless growing up. So, yeah, she probably was pretty sick. And that's one thing I think that the movie did really well in portraying that I didn't really catch in the book. Because I was like, is she really sick or is she just, like, spoiled, you know?
I think it was a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, she's locked in her room. She's sorting feathers out of her mattress. And she keeps the window open at all times. And across the moors in Wuthering Heights... Heathcliff has convinced Isabella he loves her to come away and marry him. I'm just going to pause for dramatic effect. Because I was like, oh, shoot. Like, oh, no.
Oh, Heathcliff, you've done it again.
So...
now you've really done it.
Heathcliff, now you've done it. You've broken my charger.
Now you've done it now. Are we going to be offensive for doing this?
No, I was saying, you've broken my charger. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Heathcliff.
Thanks.
You married my sister-in-law. Now it's broken. Anyway, he marries Isabella. Isabella's, like, so head over heels. Also, in the meantime, strangles her dog. Don't know why. He just picks it up.
Strangles her dog, yeah.
He picks up Isabella's dog, hangs it around a fence, keeps walking. You don't even know he does that until, like, 2 chapters later.
Yeah, so if you're... we probably should have prefaced this,
what?
But if you are not willing to read about...
abuse.
Heavy trauma, psychological issues, abuse...
See, I love
animal...
Don't say
that.
I love
Wait a second.
Stuff. No, like, I love Tell Me Lies. I love it all. I loved, you know.
You like psychoanalyzing people.
Yeah. And I like brutal love stories that are, like, toxic. I don't know why. Probably because I like to psychoanalyze.
Yeah.
But
if you don't like animal abuse or child abuse, obviously don't read this book.
Trigger warnings, I guess.
Huge trigger warnings.
But it's because you know what? It's not... I feel like the words themselves aren't that bad, but you can infer a lot, and what you're inferring is like, oh, shoot, like, that's pretty bad. Like, that's really dark.
Almost when you have to, like, I feel like when you have to infer certain things, like...
your mind goes further
sometimes it's almost like, worse.
Because let's just talk about the fact that Emily Bronte was a pastor's daughter. We don't have to talk about that yet. I want to get into that because that's on my blame the authors. But, so it's, like, weird. But, so anyway, he marries Isabella, and he says to her... I married you to abuse you because I want revenge on your brother for marrying Catherine. Yeah. So that's like, I think that part was the darkest part for me. I was like, oh my gosh, like Isabella ran off thinking she was in love and now she's literally like abused. She writes a letter to Nellie that is so terrifying. It's like, she says, like, I'm wretched. I hate him. I've been fooled. Please visit me as soon as you can.
Who is this man I married? Is he even human?
Yes,
or is he,
yes.
What did she say? Or is he a demon or something like that?
Yeah, she says something like that. Like, who is this? Like, what kind of monster
is he even a man? Like, yeah, because he's just so...
it's sickening. And then he talks about how she still comes back to him. He's like, every time all I have to do is, like, leave her alone for a little bit, and she comes right back. Like, she just always wants to be around me, and I hate her face because it looks like Edgar's. It's so dark.
It's really awesome.
So they end up having, well, I guess we can do that in part 2. We can talk about the kids.
Yes.
Because Hareton is also a big part of the abuse. I mean, the revenge, but we can get that in part 2.
Yeah,
We'll hit generational. We'll hit
generational
second gen
trauma and
Degrassi's second generation.
That's exactly what it has to be called. Yeah, we'll hit
that in part 2. But so part 1 ends with this marriage happening and Kathy being so sick from her pregnancy that she's now dying, and Heathcliff gets news of it through Nellie.
And not only her pregnancy, but starving herself,
right?
Leaving the windows
yes.
open. Like, it's a combination. The psychological.
Which I also
effects.
now that this is the first time I thought of this, I do wonder if part of that was escaping her pregnancy. Like, she wanted to escape the pregnancy.
Yeah.
But there's no way to. That's not in the book. There's no way to know that. I just wonder.
Good to analyze. And
yeah. But so Heathcliff gets word of it. He convinces Nellie to get Edgar out of the house long enough that he can sneak in to see Kathy before she dies. And they have their last toxic fight where she's literally like, I'm dying and you're going to move on, so screw you. I want literally nothing to do with you because you get to live your life and I have to die. And he's like, no, how much worse for me that I have to be alive while my soul is dead.
Yeah, he's
like,
yeah.
And the most heartbreaking thing I think he said that I thought was like, you're a murderer. No, my murderer I love, but yours, how can I? Like, I don't forgive you because you're killing yourself. Like, because you left me all those years ago. They finally have that conversation of like, why did you leave me so long? Why did you betray your heart?
They finally, after all those years, DTR'd. They're like, I've always loved you, and you were it for me. Why did you leave me?
And he says,
I heard what you said.
Yeah, like, why did you betray your heart? See, it's never said that he left after the degrade part. I think that he heard her say all of that, and then she ends it with, it would degrade me to marry Heathcliff. So then he's just ticked off anyway. I think he hears the whole love confession.
We'll have to confirm.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look in the book. So then they have this beautiful moment where he's like, all those like quotes come out that are like very famous, and then she does not die then. He is forced to leave the property. He has to wait outside in the garden. He's out in the garden because Edgar comes back in, and he actually, I thought it was really beautiful too that he looks at Edgar and he's like, deal with me later, take care of her. And then Kathy gives birth and dies in the room while Heathcliff's out in the garden waiting. And then Nellie comes out to tell him. And that's when he says, like, I only pray one prayer, that she doesn't have rest for as long as I'm alive. Like that she would haunt me for, like, you... Oh, and I love that he says she's a liar till the end, because she said she wouldn't leave him and, like, she'd be fine. So he's like, a liar to the end. Like, I have one prayer, haunt me until I die. Like, do not rest. Like, don't leave me where I cannot find you. What's the one quote that we want on the tattoo? Haunt me.
Haunt me then.
Take any form.
Wait.
You say that I killed you. Haunt me. Take any form. Drive me mad. Only do not leave me
in this abyss where I cannot find you. It's just such a, like...
And part 1 ends there.
Honestly,
we're going to leave it there.
There's so many quotable moments from this book. It's just, like, the most beautiful writing I've ever read about love.
Well, I mean, like, the ones I underline aren't even those big ones. Like, I underline little ones about, like, religion and, like, everyday life, too. There's some in there that's just about, like, everyday life. Where I'm like, I love that, the way that she wrote that. She verbalized that. Some of it's about the weather, and I underlined it.
Emily Bronte is an incredible writer. I almost said waitress.
She's an incredible waitress.
She's an incredible
Honestly, that needs to be a word.
Waitress.
I'm a writer.
Are you a writer?
No, I'm a writer. No, I'm a writeress.
I'm a writeress.
She only ever wrote, this is the only novel she ever wrote. She wrote poems, but this was the only novel she ever wrote, which makes me fully 110% believe she had a Heathcliff.
Do we believe that they had collaborative writings?
No. Because, you know what's weird? Charlotte Bronte, I'm reading Jane Eyre right now, and I can't tell, I have to look into it, but it sounds like Jane Eyre is one of her only novels. But they died really young. They died when they were like 22 years old. From, like, drinking their water, because they lived in a parsonage that was on a burial ground where the bodies were dying so fast because I think it was like typhoid or something, and it was rotting their water. So they literally were drinking like rotted humans, and it killed them at very, very, very young. So that's also probably why that was their only novel. It might not just be because she had a Heathcliff.
When we talk about brain rot.
Okay, enough of that.
About brain rot.
What do we want to get into? My personal favorite part is the kitchen when she locks them all in. She's like, let him beat the crap out of you or apologize. I just love it. It's just so very tell me lies. So Lucy and Steven. I just love it.
Let's get into that. Let's take a break for the watchers, and then we'll come back and we will do the Tell Me Lies segment.
Okay, so let's talk Tell Me Lies and Wuthering Heights. So that's only part 1. Part 2 will be our next episode. Are you there?
Hello? Hello?
Friend? Hello?
Are you there?
Okay, so
welcome back from our no break. But it was a break for us, but we needed it.
How is Tell Me Lies similar to Wuthering Heights?
Well, I want you to start this question because you're the one who made the...
Constantly thought about it.
Yes.
I just think it's like literally the 1800s, like Love Island, Tell Me Lies. Like, I was constantly that viewer or like that reader that was looking like left to right to left. Like each character is like, what the heck is happening? And once we get into Heathcliff's revenge, it is Stephen DeMarco level. Like when you think about, okay, if you've seen the show, this is not part of the book. I was also listening to Tell Me Lies in my car, like a podcast, while I was reading physically Wuthering Heights on the side, like when I'd get home. Mm-hmm. So for me, like the similarities.
Yeah, we do that a lot we love to consume literature. So we will oftentimes be listening to an audiobook and reading a
completely
book.
separate one.
Yeah. Completely separate book.
So, but for me, it was just like the level of diabolical like manipulation to get back at somebody. Like in the show specifically, if you've seen the show, if you haven't, spoiler, fast forward this now. Okay. The wedding, the fact that he holds that recording for so long until the wedding at the end of the show was, to me, equal to Heathcliff holding on revenge all the way to the children.
Yeah.
Like it was just Stephen DeMarco level. I was like, because like the book, he's not like that diabolical in Tell Me Lies, but he still is like, I mean, he kills somebody and never admits to it at all in the book. Yeah. So
yeah.
Steven does. Yeah. I don't think Heathcliff ever killed anyone. So like at that point, like who's worse?
He killed a dog.
He didn't kill the dog and never says he killed it. And Nellie finds it.
But he also caught Hareton and was like, why did I catch this baby? I should have let him die.
He thought about murder a lot.
He never
never followed through, but that could just be one of the Christian themes of Emily Bronte too. We'll talk about that in our next. We'll talk about that in our next part. Yeah. But I want to play this game because.
Well, first,
okay.
Who's worse? Do you think, Stephen or Heathcliff?
So initially, I was gonna be like, oh, absolutely Heathcliff, because generations of revenge. Like, and he didn't care about anybody in the end. He only cared about Catherine, and when she died, nobody mattered to him, which you're going to see that in part 2. But I still think Stephen, because Stephen literally killed somebody and left them there to go to law school. What? And in the show especially, in the show he was so much worse than in the book. In the book he's just like this toxic guy that Lucy's like, why am I with you?
Yeah.
But he cheats a lot. He's like a serial cheater, and he did still kill somebody, and left them there, even though it was an accident. But no, yeah, I think Stephen DeMarco is worse. At first, to me, it was Heathcliff, and now I'm like, no, Stephen literally.
I think maybe
is worse.
I think maybe what makes Stephen seem worse is that he's more relatable to us. No?
Because to me, like, Heathcliff would have been worse for being...
He's more modern. He's more of a modern villain.
But that's why Heathcliff should feel more villainous.
But I think Stephen is so dangerous because we get to see, the watcher or the reader gets to see a side of him that the rest of... that, like, nobody else sees.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. Because of it.
He doesn't... Like, you don't get to really... I don't know, like, the other characters in the show, in the book, they don't get to see, like, the inner workings of Stephen's brain, but we, as the reader or watcher, do get, like, we are privy to that information. And so that's what makes it, like, it's scary because, like, there's points of that, at least in the show. I haven't read the book yet.
Right.
But at least in the show, like, you see, like, the human side of him, like, how he could have become the way that he is, and, like, his upbringing with his mom.
But I feel like you get that
how
with
she
Heathcliff
was
a
manipulative.
lot. You get that with Heathcliff a lot, too, with the way he was abused so bad.
Oh, no, that's what
Probably
I'm
way
saying.
worse.
So,
yeah.
like, but also, like, obviously we've both had relationships with very manipulative people.
Right.
And so I think that's what makes Stephen seem so much more, like, of an evil, hated villain to us, because we were just like...
I was just weighing crimes against them.
Okay, fair enough.
If you weigh their crimes...
To me, it's just, like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. It's hard because, like, Heathcliff in the book is very, like... Obviously, we're hearing who he is only from Nellie's point of view.
Right, but so he is, like, otherworldly dark. Like, he is the villain.
It only, like, literally...
You don't even want him to be, but he
possessed.
just is. Yeah.
He just literally
I
feels like
know,
he's possessed.
I know.
So, like, that to me feels like a scarier,
okay,
darker person than, like... But Stephen DeMarco is terrifying
possessed.
because he's so manipulative and he enjoys it.
Yeah.
And, like, he knows he's being manipulative.
Yeah.
Like, when he looks at Lucy and he's like, I just want to hurt you. And I don't know how else to do it.
Right, yeah.
Like,
but Heathcliff says the same thing to
too.
Isabella.
Like, it's just so scary. I actually think...
Heathcliff
I'm going to change my
says the same
answer.
thing.
I think I'm going with Steven.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
I think Steven's worse. Steven's worse.
All right, we're going to play this game of all of our toxic baes and queens and kings. So, I'm going to read you this quote. You're going to tell me if it was Taylor Swift, just to throw her in there.
Don't
Heathcliff.
cancel us Swifties.
No, I love Taylor Swift.
She's a Swiftie.
I created this list because I was like, I'm going to get her. Taylor Swift, Heathcliff, Stephen DeMarco, or Kathy. Who said it? Okay.
And as you can see, all of the cards that I made are shades of red because none of these people have even the slightest bit of green in them.
Green as in green flag?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing green.
Okay.
I made the pretty text
They're gorgeous.
cards and she made the list, so I have no idea what this says.
Okay.
I'm very excited. I think I'm going to get everyone right.
Okay, ready?
We'll see.
Past the blood and bruise, past the curses and cries, beyond the terror and the nightfall. Haunted by the look in my eyes that would have loved you for a lifetime.
Okay, this feels like you want me to pick Heathcliff, but I'm gonna go with Taylor because this feels more lyrical to me.
Yeah, I know. I was trying not to read it like that, but I can't because I hear it in my head.
It's hard though because Wuthering Heights, it can be like it can feel lyrical.
I thought that line was so.
It is Wuthering, very Wuthering.
Haunted by the look in my eyes that would have loved you for a lifetime. That feels so Heathcliff. Okay, I cannot live without my life. I cannot live without my soul. We know this line. Heathcliff, yeah.
That's
fresh in our memory. I wouldn't marry me either. A pathological people pleaser.
Well, we know that's not Steven. That's Taylor.
That's Taylor.
Oh, wait.
That's Taylor. Get your colors right. Okay. You think you're the one who feels... I'm sorry. You think you're the one who feels this? You think I don't hate myself for it?
Oh.
We're running out of time.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Taylor again.
That's Stephen DeMarco.
What?
You think you're the one who feels this? You think I don't hate myself? That's so manipulative. You don't think I'll hate myself for this? Like, I've definitely been said that. Someone's told me that before. Self-victimization. All right. Wow. I'll try to break their hearts by breaking my own.
Kathy.
Yes, that's Kathy.
Yeah, that's a Kathy thing.
That's Kathy.
1000%. That's so Kathy.
Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same.
Kathy.
That's our girl Kathy.
That is, wow, what a quote.
You don't get to walk away and pretend this didn't happen.
Steven.
That's Steven.
That is so...
You're good. You're good.
I want to strike
right. I bathe in cliffside pools with my calamitous love and insurmountable grief.
Oh, what? That's got to be Taylor.
Dang, you're good. I thought I was going to get you that.
No, that was very Wuthering of her.
Right? She's pretty Wuthering.
She's pretty Wuthering.
Wuthering Taylor. Wuthering Swift.
Wuthering Swift.
A New Heights is the podcast that Travis Kelce does. Wuthering Heights. Anyway. Hey.
Conspiracy.
Okay. He's not a rough diamond, a pearl-containing oyster of rustic. He's a fierce, pitiless man.
That's gotta be Kathy.
It is Kathy.
Wow,
dang, you're so good.
I
thought that was hard. She says that
Taylor.
to Isabella. Still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried. I'll still see it until I die. You're the loss of my life.
That is a Taylor.
Yeah,
I know.
I said that one to you.
Loss of my life.
I sent that one to her. Because I was like, this is so Heathcliff.
For context, I'm not like a huge... I don't know all of her songs and stuff, but I just feel like she has...
Some of these are too poetic to get you.
Very
all right.
poetic.
Be with me always. Take any form. Drive me mad. Heathcliff.
The most heartbreaking.
Be with me always. That needs to be a Taylor Swift lyric.
It's so good.
He's more myself than I am.
Kathy.
Good old Kath.
Good old Kath.
That's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings. They're born from just one single truth, but they lie and they lie and they lie.
This is a hard one. Crap. Is it Taylor?
That's Taylor. Good job.
Clandestine just feels like a word that she would use.
Yeah. Illicit, clandestine. You loved me, then what right you had... You loved me, then what right had you to leave me?
That's Heathcliff.
Yeah, I know. Heathcliff's fresh in her mind. I'm never going to get around that
because
one.
I just love him. I don't love
Those
him,
were the
but I
lines that
love
really
him.
were so potent in the story. You're just like, oh, wait, this is like... Because the whole story is so like, what's going on? This feels so ghostly. And then when he says those things, they haunt you. You're like, oh, that's so beautiful.
And it's crazy because this... I said that we don't get to really see Heathcliff's inner workings of his mind, but we do. In his quotes,
it's
through these
just
quotes.
Kathy.
This is the only time you see him being human.
Right, I said
so
he doesn't like
so
speak,
memorable.
and then when he speaks to Kathy, it's just like,
Gosh.
okay.
What a man.
Where is that? Okay, you say you hate me, but you keep coming back.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's got to be Stephen.
that's
DeMarco.
Steven. Yeah,
I'm good at.
You're really good. You gotta do this to me next time.
I know my
Al.
toxics apart.
Yeah, you do. I have no more business to be with him than I have to be in heaven.
Kathy.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
all
love that.
right.
We didn't talk about that. The dream she has about heaven. We make a reminder to talk about that.
Yeah.
Don't blame me. Love made me crazy.
That's Taylor.
That's Taylor. I am Heathcliff.
I am Heathcliff.
No, Heathcliff says that. I am
That's Kathy.
Heathcliff. I know. I saw that one. I thought it was so funny. I was like, I gotta throw this in here. Kathy says I am Heathcliff.
I love it. You said we'll come back to that later, and I'm like, what are we going to talk about later that has to do with that? Because I said that earlier. Remember?
What? That's what?
Earlier.
Oh, I am Heathcliff.
Yes,
Yeah.
I said that quote.
That's
You
so
were like,
funny.
We'll come back to that. I'm like,
If clarity is in death, then why won't this die? That's Taylor. Stop getting them all right.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. These are just wow. I come.
I even tried to find like quotes that weren't the popular quotes from Wuthering Heights to throw her off. You know exactly what this would do to you.
Steven. That is such a Steven thing to say.
May you not rest as long as I am living. Yep.
Steven is.
It's not fun when you get them all right.
I'm sorry, but like Steven. I got a couple wrong.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Not one, dude.
I think I did.
Living,
Run it back.
Living for the thrill of hitting you where it hurts.
That's such a Steven thing to say, but I'm gonna go Tay.
It's Taylor.
She's
I'm actually so annoyed. Get some wrong.
I'm sorry, I know my book.
You think I'm the bad guy, but you have no idea what I've been through.
Is it Stevie?
That's Steven. It's not fun when you get them all right.
Here's the thing
Switch it
about
up.
Steven.
Get it wrong even if you think you're right.
I know Steven quotes so well because
Of who? You.
because of my Steven.
Yeah, because
because
of
of all of our Stevens. We all
Right.
have a Steven. I hope you don't have a Steven. That would be really sad, but most of us do.
We all, yeah. I wish I were a girl again, half savage, half hardy, and free.
Is that Kathy?
That's Kathy.
Oh!
I try to throw you off with
I
that
almost
one.
want Taylor on that one.
I was like, that's a Taylor quote. Because Taylor says, give me back my girlhood. It was mine first. And Kathy says, I wish I was a girl again, half savage, half hardy, and free.
That felt like a Taylor lyric.
You'll never forget me.
That's it? That's the quote?
Yeah, I had to cut some stuff so that it wasn't super obvious.
I'm gonna get this one wrong. You'll never forget me. Honestly, every single one of these people would say that. I'm gonna... Not Taylor. I'm not gonna go Heathcliff. It's either Kathy or Steven, I think. I'm gonna go Steven.
It's Steven.
Oh, wow!
I swear, she looked at these. Oh, wow.
I did not put it.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm combing through the braids of lies.
That is Taylor.
Yeah, I'm mad because I sent her these lyrics about this, but then I was like, I have to throw them in here.
But that's the only reason I...
Would have known.
Well, I would probably...
I'm combing through the braids of lies. All right, do not leave me in this abyss where I cannot find you.
Heathcliff.
I have no pity. No, I'm not done. I just want to make sure I get this right and don't make it sound obvious. I have no pity. The more the worms writhe,
Right?
the more I wish to crush their entrails.
Taylor?
That's Heathcliff.
What?
He says it about getting revenge on the kids. I bury hatchets, but I keep maps of where I put them.
That's Taylor.
That's Taylor. You're the only person who actually knows me.
Steven.
That's Steven. Your little lamb is making threats like a bull.
Heathcliff.
That's Heathcliff.
About Edgar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kathy, your little lamb is making threats like a bull. By God, Mr. Linton, you are not worth splitting your skin over my knuckles. Anyway, I love that scene. Why does my blood rush into a hell of tumult? How did you know that?
It just feels like a Kathy thing to say.
I hate you so much. You have to do this to me next week, and I want to see if I get them all right.
Okay, because
I never told you to fall in love with me.
Steven.
Yes.
That is so Steven.
The way your face dropped.
Because I feel like all of these things have been said to me before.
Really, all of them? I have no pity. The more the worms
Not that.
rise.
All
Okay.
of the Steven quotes. I should be more specific.
The coward claimed he was a lion.
Is that Heathcliff?
No, that's Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Got her. Got one.
You got a couple.
No, I haven't. You have killed me and thrive on it.
Is that Heathcliff?
That's Kathy. Kathy says it to Heathcliff.
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff. Kathy says it to Keith.
Heathcliff and Kathy's son, Heathcliff.
Keith.
Kathy.
Just Keith. Heathcliff, Kathy,
Keith. Keith.
That must be where it came from. Okay.
Keith is so funny too.
If all else perished and he remained, I would still continue to be.
Kathy.
Yep. That sounds so Taylor, though. I shall see if one tree will not grow as crooked as another with the same wind to twist
That
it.
is Heathcliff.
Yep.
And isn't he talking about bringing up
Harrison. I cut off my nose to spite my face and hate my reflection for years.
Taylor?
Yeah, you got them all.
I didn't get them all.
Well,
I got a couple wrong, but
that was really good.
I did pretty good, I think.
Okay. So we have more segments that we're going to do next part. I feel like we shouldn't do blame the author until... Because, listen, the stuff I want to blame her for is...
Okay, so
two.
blame the...
We are going to do a segment called Blame the Author for each book that we break down. Where we go into our hot takes, where we're like, you know what, I low-key blame the author for that, and I've got some things to blame Emily Bronte for.
We have some things.
Even though she's perfect. It took me a long time. I had to really think about this.
Wuthering Heights is one of those books where I started it out thinking... Yeah, I'm quite literally never going to read this again. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through it because it's so dark. It's so heavy.
You said that, but I was like, I love that dark stuff.
Well, I remember you texting me in the beginning. You're like, when does it start to get good? And I'm like, it's like chapter 5, right?
Yeah, it is. It's 5.
And then it's
actually, it's chapter 11 is where all the drama
picking up,
explodes.
and then it's just like until the end. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is.
It was one of those things where I did have to keep putting it down because it's just such dark, heavy subject matter, and the characters are their minds are so dark. Like, I wouldn't recommend anybody reading this like during the winter, during like seasonal depression.
That's exactly when I read it, though.
Yeah, well, you're a glutton for punishment, so we're not going to.
It's true. When I'm depressed, I like to read depressing literature because I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one in the world. But this also wasn't depressing to me. It just felt like it felt like a ghost tale.
To me, it felt.
And it felt like drama. Like, I love 1800s drama.
Okay, maybe I should have looked at it that way, but for me, it read more like this is I don't know.
We got a 2-minute closeout.
This is something about I don't know, dark psychological.
Yeah, but I like that.
Trauma.
I think we should really get into the themes. So next episode, we're going to recap, just like we did this one. Part 2, it's a lot shorter to recap. We have a couple segments that we're going to do, like Blame the Author. I forget the other ones.
And this is important because we're going to go through the movies and stuff
next week. And we're going to really break down the rest of it. What we liked about movies, what we don't like, all the themes, all the nuances. And we're going to have our lit discussion.
Because all the movies really end here in part 1, right?
Most of them. There's 2 that go into part 2 that I... Yeah.
None of them really talk about the kids.
I'll share my thoughts.
So we'll talk about that next segment.
Yes. I have so many thoughts about that with the new movie. Dude, did you... Okay.
Degrassi
so please join us.
Gen?
Degrassi Next Generation Wuthering Heights edition. This was Wuthering Heights Tell Me Lies.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us this week. We will see you next week for part 2. This is really fun. I don't know what to say.
I'm glad we got the camera set up because that was the worst.
Now we know.
Worse than Stephen DeMarco.
No.